thing about the session for today, it's not just about um, it's not going to be about me. It's not going to be about English. It's going to be English French because the fine thing I say we all come on a Cameroon. We mean say that language. If you speak English, French, my add small country talk. If you add them, we'll start with some quick introduction. We'll start with Carlos, your names and where you from, and a little bit about what you do.
Carlos Kaze from Cameroon, originally from Cham. I'm a business owner and I'm also a community builder. Thank you, Sako.
Okay, we'll go to the next person. Please, you old person for here, the names and
Yeah, Thierry Chassem, Arlington veteran president. Live local here in Mansfield. I'm a tech guy, technology executive, and business owner.
Wow, my boss, make sure you're speaking to your microphone though.
Yes, I'm Dr. Fortum, also in the IT sphere.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also a part-time lecturer at one of the local universities, and I'm also the coach of Arlington Veteran.
Okay, my funny boss.
Well, old face here. Rudolph Matute, as you all know. I'm co-panelist sometimes with Tori Day.
You're still co-panelist.
Co-panelist sometimes on Tori Day. I'm into the IT world. A community builder as well, trying to give back to what we can. I'm glad to be on this table with extraordinary gentlemen.
We'll start with President Thierry. 2023 National Veteran Tournaments. I think Arlington Veteran has been to this tournament more than so many times, though.
Yes, since inception, I think 2015. We've been there since.
Are we expecting anything different this time around?
Yeah, every year, the goal every year is to get better, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and ultimately, the goal fundamentally should be to win the overall competition.
Yeah.
So we have a target and the bar set pretty high this year. And I think we have been working hard enough to be able to reach those goals. And also in the essence, that's why we have a coach, one of the main coach here, which is I don't wanna spoil things, but it's been tremendous for us, a tremendous addition.
Mm-hmm.
Just so okay, he can speak more about himself later, introduce himself, and let you know about a little bit about him more in the football world. Let them do that. But yeah, the goal is definitely to win.
Oh wow. Let's go to Carlos.
Yeah.
I don't know if you introduce yourself, if you said anything about Kamdal.
Yeah, I'm also one of the oldest players in Kamdal FC.
Yeah.
I'm the captain of Kamdal, and like Thierry said, we also going for the convention. We want to win, and we are ready for that though.
It seems like we're just saying we want to win because are we really serious we're going to win, or we're just saying coach, are we serious we're going to win, or we're just saying we want to win because we need to just say okay, we are planning to win?
Well, I will start by saying if you go to a competition without ambitions, then you may as well just stay home. So it's but natural for every team that is participating to have that ambition to, despite the competition, to win. So I think it's a natural phenomenon. You saw during the World Cup, even though we naturally knew that we had less talent than most of the competition, but the president of the FECAFOOT kept on saying that he's going there to win, and you had a lot of
we'll go take that cup.
a lot of Cameroonian actors who also joined the phrase and just kept the hope alive. So yes, the competition will be tough, but we definitely have ambitions, and I think I second what Thierry said. That's Arlington Veteran. We've been preparing, and we hopefully are going to compete very hard for the trophy.
Mr. Matute, what has been your observation? I know you need to play, but then you the community person, you hang out with almost every group of persons, whether Kamda, whether Arlington, whether Phony. Wait, you don't be your observation for some time now about soccer for our community.
Well, I need to play, but I need to play for TV. I'm more of a TV soccer person. But from what I know, I don't want to go to the clash of the titans here because I know it's going to get hot here between Kamda and Arlington Veteran. But Arlington Veteran, on my part, they have been doing very, very well in terms of the preparation towards the national veteran tournament. They call sessions, they do trainings, they get sessions to grow, not only on the pitch, but out of work, and that giving back to that community for physical wellness, sports, building up that mind, social gathering, community come together, and being one another's keeper in and out of the field sector. For
Kamdal.
for Kamdal, I'll not say much about Kamdal because I don't know about it, but I'll leave that to our able captain and the oldest player in that establishment. But every goal this year, I think a lot of teams are prepared with what happened in Houston last year, with the multitude of people that came to
That was
Houston.
Maryland last
That
year.
was
Oh,
Maryland
sorry.
last year.
10 years ago.
Two
Sorry,
years ago.
2 years
Time
ago.
goes by fast, but yeah, that was
Yeah, but when the echoes of 2000 of Houston
Yeah,
are still
Houston.
are
sure.
still
Yeah,
very
yeah,
fresh,
yeah,
and
yeah,
and
yeah.
it was huge. You know,
Yeah.
it was very huge. But the goal, everybody goes, as coach said, to go into the tournament and get an ambition to win. This year, I'm throwing my wing behind Arlington Veteran. We are going to take that cup.
Wow. No, you don't cost me. You don't cost me. You don't cost me. Go see Thierry.
We'll take
Jesus.
that cup.
Okay.
On est ensemble, mon frère.
Non, on peut pas être ensemble parce que tu m'as traversé.
No, no,
Tu m'as
no.
traversé et puis
We'll
tu...
take that cup.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those are my little thoughts about it. But
Great.
it will be a fair game for love, soccer. There'll be a lot to showcase. There'll be a lot of talents, community coming together for our society and Cameroonians as a whole in America.
Boss Thierry, we hear the likes of national, former national team players coming. Makun, Wume, and all these names, NOA Young. What is your take on that?
It's funny you bring that because I got a call from the Boston president this morning.
Mhm.
Like, my question to him was like, are you calling me to send me some players over? Like I can take a couple of them and use them. But my take is it only shows the magnitude of this NVTY.
Yeah.
To have former players from the national team to come in still want to play here with us. I mean, you can look at it both ways. You can look at it promote this. What we do, it shows that it's very not only competitive, but also a good marketing for the Cameroon community. Right, so I'm for it. I think I'm for it. I enjoy it. I mean, I think it'll be fun. It's just raise the bar each year. Now you have more. I think you have Boston by themselves have 3 people, 3 former international.
Yeah.
Right, so other teams may have some as well. We have one for sure. We have Rolantoko, who's been with us for a long time. So yeah, by the end of the day, they can bring Jesus himself. He's gonna be ready.
Yeah, Mr. Carlos.
Yeah, I think I will have a question for the president. You know, Thierry is the president of Arlington Veterans.
Carlos,
The
well,
president is the
let
president.
us go by my questions first, and at the end,
Okay.
you can throw
We are in
your questions.
Arlington. We are in Arlington. So
I just want, but go ahead, Sako.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but however, if your question was going to be about what he just said,
Yeah,
then-
exactly.
okay, then you can go ahead and ask. the
Okay,
question.
okay. What I wanted to ask, like, you know me, I'm the captain. You mean that when it comes to the administrative part, I don't have much to say. I have to say not much, but I'm lucky Thierry's here. It's people that they will do the administration. Thierry, you think that if every team have to bring all these international player to come and play the convention with us, and we player that we live in Dallas,
what does that
we
mean
build
for
the
us?
community.
Yeah.
If one team seeing getting like 10, 11 international play, how about people that be
Training,
here all
that-
year and
that-
be training?
that-
It's not something that you guys have to think about it.
Yeah, that's a really, really good point though. I think eventually we may have to have some type of restrictions on maybe how many, 2 or 3, like maybe
Thank
during
you.
the Olympic Games, we can have no more than 2 or 3.
Thank you
And
so
so,
much.
and actually I think there's a loophole around it, because now there's a law that we have in the bylaws where to be able to play, those players have to have is have a foreign passport, have to have a visa. So and you cannot have more than 3 players with that status. So I think that kind of addressed that issue a little bit. Yeah, in that sense. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Koshin, for you, do you think it makes your job easy to bring in foreign players or to go out of the community and hire mercenaries maybe from other African countries? Or like, yeah.
If you are not Cameroonian, you are mercenary.
I use the word mercenary because I just feel like most clubs, these guys are not training with them. I've been with Arlington, we have Nigerians who train with us all year. Come down, we have also guys who train all year. But some clubs will not bring the international players, but then during the competition, they go and get people from other way just because they want to. Koshi.
Yeah, I think first to answer directly, obviously it doesn't make your job easier because anybody who has played at the professional level, I have played, but it was a very short span and I got injured, and obviously it took a. But if you look at the broader perspective, it makes it difficult for every team because you'll be facing a professional player. They might not be at their peak, but still they have that experience that could be an added advantage to the team that is having them. But I think the idea of having professional players shows the magnitude of the event itself. Because if you look from the insertions, you didn't have maybe this level of professional players joining. And it was the NVT was mostly about community building. How Cameroonians living in the US find a few days to come together and enjoy the fact that we can meet and it has gone beyond that aspect of just meeting and having fun, and it has risen the level of competition, which now makes every county or state wanting to be at the top of that, of that pyramid. Say, we excel not only in building communities, but we also make sure that football is part of that process. And if you look at Cameroon, by far football is the most popular sport in the world, and in Cameroon, I would say 90% of the population they either support or know something about football. And so that is why I think we as Cameroonian, the fact that they bring in professional athletes is to attract not just those who are in the US, is to increase the noise about NVT, because somebody like Makoun, Wome, Imana, when they go back to Cameroon, they will talk about it. They would say, we went to the US, it is so vibrant. We have a huge Cameroonian, and it may open some other doors. You never know, because you don't know where it ends. So if we just look at the playing aspect, we might say, well, this is not a good thing because we want to give a chance. But this is a veterans tournament, so we don't have youth, the youths who are coming expecting that maybe you have some recruiters coming and they didn't have a chance. So these are people who have gone, who are past their primes and who are just doing it for the fun part. And so I think for me, it's I would encourage this aspect, and it would turn some other teams even more competitive. But on the flip side, as a coach, you would not want to have to face those because and the other thing is not only because they might be better than your team. It's because some referees, if they might use antecedents, right? They might say, okay, this has been a professional, so I'll make sure that any tackle or any rough play against him is whistled, and this might then be at a disadvantage of for example, I played in Ukraine, but most people don't know I played in Ukraine. They don't know me, right? So if I'm playing against Makoun and they'll say, who is that? So some may even tell you a rat. Who is that rat who is roughing the Grand Makoun? Give him a red card. And if that referee has also this history of him, we'll say, yeah, for sure. You can't just be playing against this professional like this. So this is where I think we need to create that balance. If we can create that balance, then I think it'll be amazing. I as a coach, I think it's a great challenge. And I've been saying that to my players that we're gonna cook them. We're gonna rough them a little bit and let them know that, well, playing the national team is one thing, but when you're facing folks who are determined, it's a different thing. So I'm pointing at the captain of Kamda, who's definitely.
Why are you laughing? It seems like you have some.
No, well, I'm just laughing because what the coach is saying is true, and when the coach say facing them is kind of difficult, I'm going to tell to the coach, no, they are no more young and they are no more fit like before. I think they also have the same level of playing like most of us.
No,
Yeah.
no, they don't.
They have professional. The professional experience stands out.
Carlos, they don't.
They don't have the same level of
No,
players.
listen what I said.
Yeah.
Most of
Okay.
us. I didn't say they don't have the same.
Maybe a
There's
few
some
of us.
people.
I wouldn't say most.
I know a lot of players that can play like them. You know, Atlanta, we have like Malik. You know Malik?
Yeah.
No, I
used to
don't
be
deny
pro.
that. I'm just
You can play something like
The
that.
training they have acquired throughout that will normally supersede.
Exactly.
I
There is
think-
You
I think-
calm down.
I think,
Professional-
uh,
Even
as a
Kale
professional
Sule, we have
experience.
Kale, he play one of
no,
the team.
I think for
He's a
me,
good player.
for me, the challenge is the fact that some of them have not even retired for up to 5 years,
Right.
and then they're supposed to play the competition. For me, that is the only challenge. I think there should be a law or something that says, you know what, you retire, you have to stay 5 years, you eat soya, you drink beer, you lazy around, and then you can come and start playing the veteran
They
competition.
need to keep.
One thing though,
Yes.
that
Yes, coach.
even if they haven't made 5 years, is that when they play at the professional level, they play with like-minded, talented players.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So they will not have that core here.
Yeah.
So, and this will
Oh,
be
that's
to the
true.
disadvantage. So, Makun to play well, he needs for
Yeah.
a time and Maya around him so that he
Mhm.
can see his game.
Yeah.
So you don't know if he's going to have the same quality of players around him to give him the balls as he receives. So this is
Sako,
Yeah.
each time the coach is talking about less quality of player, he keep looking at me. You better tell him that.
no, I'm just crying because you are.
To be a captain for like 10 years is not.
No, it's because you are the captain.
I'm not that kind of
It's
quality
because
of
you are a
player.
field player. It's because you are a field
Like,
player.
yeah.
Right. It's just because you are a
It's not
field
a
player.
joke, you know.
Right.
It's the story.
So
Sometimes you did it.
Yeah.
and again, I wanted to add one thing. When I was in Germany,
Yeah.
a coach took two teams, a second division team and a first division team, and they made the same training. During training, the second division team, they excelled better. But when they played the game, the first division team won.
Wow.
So this is just to tell you that, yes, you may have guys that you see and you say, this guy plays great. But then he faces a professional, might do one pass in a game and he wins the game.
Yeah.
So that is sometimes if
biggest
Thierry
challenge.
can testify, we play with United, they are much younger. Normally they should be able to beat the veteran team by maybe 5-6 goals, but they struggle scoring 1-2. And sometimes it's not only about that speed, athleticism, you need to add that ingredient of experience. Those professionals, unfortunately, they have.
But Boss Thierry, what do you think would be the challenge for Arlington veteran or most of the teams from Texas?
Wow. For most of the team of Texas, I cannot speak on behalf of all of them, obviously.
Mhm.
I'm gonna be trying to make my bite my own head here. But so we Arlington, right? We have made changes, and one of I could stand on has been historically time fashion, which goes with discipline.
Mhm.
That's something that we have been tremendously encouraging our players to work on, and through several activities with the coaching staff and the executive committee, trying to change that mindset, right? Discipline, time is time. Especially that the NVT is becoming more and more vigorous. Like they're very, very on the radical side and straight on time. Right. So I think that would be the biggest challenge. Like if we can maintain that high level of discipline that we need, everything else should fall in place.
Monsieur Carlos, for you, what do you think would be the challenge for Camden?
When you say the challenge for Camden, I think we can talk about the good thing that Camden is going with first to NVT.
You think you have a better team than last year?
It's the same thing. It's not better. But what we do better is like Masango is a coach. And Masango is one of the oldest and the best player in town. I think after when you retire to become...
Masango is a what?
Yeah, he used to be one of the best players in
Oh,
town.
you said he
best
used
player.
to.
No, he used to be. He's a
Okay.
coach now. He's a coach now. But if you live in Dallas, everybody know who was Kenny Masango.
Masango, I can
Yeah.
player.
Masango used to be one of the best defender in town.
Right.
And before NVT, we used to play Kamza. he used to be the captain back in the day before he gave me the captain band because he was old. And today is the first coach in the team. And I think it's a challenge for him. A challenge means what? After your career, when you go to a different field, you also want to make names there. Masayongo, I've been winning as a player. I think it's this year that he want to show us that he can also win as a coach. And when you see the training we've been having all these past few weeks, there's a lot of change. And something good, I think it's not a secret, but it's my first time. Last night, Masango make a conference call with all the Kamda players. That's my first time since 2006 I've been in Kamda. And everybody was on the phone. And I feel like this year is a year. And trust me, Toride, when we come back, make sure you invite the same people to celebrate my trophy. Thank you.
I like that.
How long have you been in Camden?
Me since 2006.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's why it's only on Tori Day where you tend to discover a lot of
Hey
things.
man, before I forget about you,
Don't worry about me. I don't dodge.
So now besides the soccer, what are some of the reasons you think any other person would want to go to Atlanta for the competition besides soccer?
Yes. So from what I know, apart from soccer, it's to me it's an altogether come together of Cameroonians uniting to celebrate and display culture as well. It's not just only football. You tend to interact with old friends. You tend to meet new friends. You build that relationship. People go there to advertise their business. People go there like my friend Edith Piqua. She says she's going to sell her fritude right there. So it is a come together. People will showcase their business. People will interact and build that networking among our community and our society as well. And just to piggyback on what you said, it is not only Cameroonians who participate in these events. We have municipal authorities which veto it. I still think of Houston very much because I was there where the mayor was even present.
Yeah.
Hotels were booked, every place where rental cars were finished, everything. So it's a call for one, come to all Cameroonians to regenerate, to re-celebrate, and make America home as it was back in Cameroon for that unity and love which we share.
Can I add something to that, quick?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Keep me honest, I may be home, but I think this NVT may be the biggest diaspora
yes.
event for Cameroon.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's piece of it. I don't think outside of Cameroon there's anything as such for Cameroon. I mean,
Atlanta for that matter.
yeah, especially it's going to be in Atlanta. So they expect about between 5,000 and 10,000 people. Right?
Yep.
So it's a combination of all the culinary art, traditional art, I mean, fashion and so on. And especially we have all this coming from home to support like legendary artists. I think Bendeka is going to be there.
Bendeka is going to be there.
Yeah, so it's good. And
Lady
even-
Pons too.
yeah, right. Even for the local economy, right? It's like, for example, Houston a couple of years ago utilized footage from NVT for the bid to be able to host city for the World Cup.
Yep.
So that was one of the big part of the bid. I
Yeah.
won the bid. So
Yep.
just to tell the magnitude and of this thing.
Yeah.
Koshi, you wanted to say something?
No, I just wanted to add to the point. That is why, the addition of this former Lions adds another layer of importance to the event. And I'm definitely not sure if the organizers of NVT somehow reached to CRTV or something, but I'm definitely sure with the add-on of these professional players, if they made that request, chances are that at least maybe one game or the games that these players are playing could be broadcasted. Because I know somebody like Samuel Eto'o, he will want to use this to,
Yes.
So if that step was made, I'm definitely sure that this is something that could also
be benefit.
throw
I
a
know
lot of
last year
highlights.
we got to the coverage. I mean, I think Kevin Jomo was there.
I think it's around.
Yeah, I think it should be
Yeah,
around this year as well.
Right.
You have many platform. I mean, Toride is one of the platform. I'm sure we did some stuff there. So Toride don't.
Are you traveling?
Yeah, no, I'm going.
Okay. Don't just say because you are live. Make sure I see you there.
No, I'll be there.
Okay.
I think my next question goes to Carlos, captain of Kamdal. What do you think if it's done differently in better, Kamda is definitely going to bring the cup as compared to the competition last year? What is that one thing you feel like, okay, if this thing is done differently and better, it will enable Kamda to bring back the trophy?
Like Thierry say, one of the challenge all of us have is time. Sometimes when we get there and we're trying to play, we have 9, 8 players before people are coming. If Kamda can really work on the time, I think we change a lot. And for that, Masango have been doing it. That's why I'm so confident that it's not going to be surprised, because Kamda also is one of the best in NVT. But it can happen this year, and it will happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Boss, to you, what will it be for you? That one thing you feel like, besides time, though, you talked about time already, that one thing that you feel like, based on the competition last year, if it changes, then Arlington Veteran is capable of lifting the trophy?
Yeah, we made a lot of changes since last year, right? We used last year, the year prior years as foundation. And obviously we have an addition of a coach, which I still waiting for him to talk about himself and his but yeah, we have an additional great coach. We have new players this year. We have been very rigorous on our regiment and training. So yeah, I think except the discipline part and the time approach, I think we should be, if you can adjust everything else, will fall in place as it.
Koshi, the president has been wanting you to talk about yourself.
Yeah, so I always
about
like
the team.
I always like to avoid that topic, because sometimes, in our community, sometimes it's misinterpreted. But I kind of alluded to it a little bit. I've had my own playing career in Cameroon, PWD Bamenda. I was called once for the U16. In Ombe, and I played in Ukraine. But again, I'm a professional. I'm a licensed UFA coach.
Wow.
I have a UFA license, so the training that we're having with the Arlington Veteran is based on UFA standards.
Wow.
That is right.
That's what I was thinking. Now you feel like moving to Arlington.
No. That's a good story. I live in Arlington, but I don't play with Arlington.
Now you're starting
I can't even move to Arlington.
So,
it's a tight story.
And I also coach outside of Arlington Veteran. There are 2 teams that I the 14 years old and the 11 years old, or between 11 and 13 years old, that I coach for independent club in Arlington. So so just to say that training wise, we've been doing good. Although I would have loved, to have some more discipline. When you want to have regular training, because every training is planned. We have days that we come and we work a little bit on our physical conditioning, and then there are days that we work on the ball. It wasn't easy to get folks to transition to that kind of training, because I know even back in the days when we're playing home, training is come, warm up, and then kick the ball in the middle, get 2 teams and play. So I've brought it kind of a different structure, and people are kind of aligning. And we saw already in the TVT tournament, the first 3 games we all won, and then the next day we had just 8 players show up. And that is how we ended up losing, because people came late and the refs would not wait. And then we started at 8, and then by the time the players came in, it was a little bit too late. And then this is how we went out of number of goals. Not even that. We had same points with, what's the team?
San Antonio.
San Antonio?
Yeah, one San Antonio. So
was that one of the funny team, maybe?
It wasn't funny. Was it Kamda? No.
No.
It wasn't Kamda. Oh, they were not with us. So anyway, this is how we went out. So I think the question of discipline will be key for Arlington. If Arlington, the players coming, as we have been training, and they are disciplined, they arrive on time, and we have time to warm up. Another thing with veterans, people think that they have their bodies of 20 years old.
Yeah.
They come to a match and they don't warm up. They get into the field. And that's a recipe for injury. The last point I want to make is, what other things should be there? I just hope and I pray that teams don't get qualified, because when you get teams that have a cakewalk, right, to the finals, it doesn't bode well for the NVT itself, for the branding. If a team gets qualified, the other team should not just walk to the final. They should earn their path to the final. Play another team that is not disqualified. So and this message is not only for the teams, but it's more to the organizational committee, because Gwinnett, I've heard, has, you know, through disqualification had an easy path to,
I think
to
twice
to the trophy.
in,
And this should not
in
happen.
Houston, and
This should not happen. If a team that they are to play gets disqualified, let them play a team that's not. They should earn their path to victory, rather than just, you know, just
swimming.
So
just swimming
technically,
directly.
what you're saying is, if a team gets disqualified, another team should substitute the team that was disqualified.
Yeah. So usually you have teams that will qualify for the second round. So assuming a team feel that a player that is younger than 35, or for one reason or the other they get disqualified, take the next team, right? That didn't cheat. Take the next team and let the other team play with them.
How do they even get to the level where a team is disqualified at, let's say, semifinals?
Well, because maybe there was the age they didn't catch.
So they
it
did not
during
use
they
didn't catch
it.
player earlier.
You was victim of that.
Either they didn't use the player earlier, or they didn't catch
was
it.
victim of that.
They didn't catch it earlier, and so at the semifinal, somebody came with substance, because you also have to substantiate your proof. You cannot just come and say, "Hey, this guy is
35,"
you know, because he runs fast. Yeah, there are people who naturally, through their hormones, or maybe they have smoked some good grass, and then you see their speed increases, and then you just go and, you know, you say, no, this guy is not 35. So you have to substantiate. So sometimes before that proofs come in, the team is already at the semifinal, and then you have to disqualify them. Don't just say, okay, because they have disqualified your opponent, you go to the final. Earn it. Play a team that is not being disqualified and show that you came to play, because you're going to the final fresh, that with a team that has maybe played.
Yeah.
And you're already having an advantage, and we shouldn't be giving trophies to. It's not about the money, though. It's just the fact that, you know, teams are coming there to win.
Let me piggyback on one of the things which you just talked about, which everybody has talked about here. There was a communique sent out with 12 is it rules? The 12 commandments, or the 12 rules,
12 articles,
the 12 articles. When I looked at the second article, it talked about zero tolerance of age fraud,
right?
You know, so that just piggybacks to what you're saying, that if they pick up somebody who is maybe younger or older, I don't know how they disqualify older.
It's younger.
Younger than 35. So it just boils down to discipline, as all of you have said. Coordination and time will make the competition go further.
I feel like it's just supposed to be responsibility from the part of every team.
Exactly.
I don't see any reason why you want to cheat to win. And that's the worst thing we're actually doing in the community right now. We're actually telling the whole world we are frauds, because it might seem like, okay, I just want to win the MVP, but then when you cheat, and then we are talking about it on social media and all of that, there are other people who are watching. So another day you go to somewhere, you introduce yourself as a Cameroonian, and the person is like, oh, okay.
The focal point of NVT, right? It's for entertainment purposes. Trust me, it is for entertainment purposes and for wellness, health wellness. You know, the fact that people go most of the time down in Mansfield, training.
Bragging rights is important.
Oh, yes. Yeah, the fact that people go to, I mean, Terry, I've seen situations where you have called people, they have coach, you have written on the WhatsApp chat, hey, who they feel, who not they feel, you know. I mean, punctuality to plays the very pivotal role into that. I saw they said in the Olympic thing in Atlanta, the Olympic display, it's at 8:30 a.m. EST.
Rudolph, are you talking about Arlington Veteran WhatsApp group?
Yes.
Oh, so you're in there.
Yeah, that's what he said.
I'm there.
And the president doesn't even know you.
No, I'm a very silent.
I just wanted, that was a joke though. I just wanted Carlos to know why the guy skipped him and was saying, So my next question would be, I think, for either Carlos.
I wanted to add one thing to what he said. Or to this point. Yeah, punctuality, we should not go with the intention to cheat, but we should not forget or take for granted that we are Africans. And sometimes, I don't know if it's instinct or that is inborn, natural, that some people who want to cheat. I would bet that teams will come and will want to field players that are younger or already have them in their list. So we should come prepared to deal with this kind of situation. that it may happen. If it doesn't happen, we give a clap to ourselves that for once we have, everything was clean. But if it happens, do you get a team walk through the final because, we sang the song and for some reasons people did not hear the lyrics well? So just make sure that we have a contingency plan. Say, okay, well, you'll be disqualified, but the next person should play that.
So either Prezi or Carlos should take the question. At the end of the day,
I'll go Terry first. Let Terry go first.
Now we have Kamda, we have Arlington, we have Allen. I think those are the three clubs from here which are going for the NVT.
Allen? Not yet, Allen.
No,
Allen, Kamda, and Arlington. Yeah.
The other ones
are you guys doing anything to work as a group from Texas besides the fact that you guys go there individually?
No, actually, no. Actually, no, that I'm aware of. And that the organizer, the NAP, the National Advisory Board, I don't know. Usually, they place you in a specific spot. So I don't think which is independent from your geographic location where you're coming from. So
no, I'm talking about a situation where like maybe you guys are discussing amongst you. Okay, maybe this is what we can do. Maybe we can get a boss, or maybe you can help us. Like this, like, are you guys working together in any way to help each other attain their goals, or it's just anyone for itself?
To be honest with you, we should do better in that sense, from that perspective. Because I mean, when you think about
your microphone, boy.
Sorry, when you think about Allen, Kamdal, and Arlington, there's no reason why you shouldn't get for us. We can actually get charter a plane. For us, I mean, there's that many. We can get that many people. I mean, we can book a plane like 50 or 60 people for ourselves. Stuff like that can be put into perspective in the future. But as of now, no.
Mr. Carlos.
Yes, about that question, Sako, I'm going to say it's no. Like Thierry said, we have to be honest. It's no. We cannot wait for NVT to try to work together. When the NVT finish, we come back home. We are here for the whole year. Kamda, Arlington, Allen, what are they doing? Even playing friendly game. How many friendly games we are playing against them during the year? If you don't even get close, we cannot even think about better thing to do. It's a good question. And I hope Thierry is here. He's the president. President is not just Arlington. He can be president from the community. This is a good question when we come back next year. Let's try to do something different between us. And even, I don't know where it's going to be the next NVT. Like Minnesota. Let's book a plane where that plane is only for us players and go there together. It will be another fun. No, thank you, Thierry. If you can do that and talk to the other president, and I'm going also to talk to Cheso and the president in my class and see if we can do something like that.
Koshi, with your experience, what do you think we should be doing differently in Texas to make, especially DFW? To make sure if we miss this tournament in Minnesota, we definitely have to win it.
So one thing that I've noticed is that Texas is not preparing for the future, right? With the future, I mean, you have players like you mentioned, Masango, who have played and they have gone past their prime. And then you have younger players. With younger, I mean those who are freshly turning 35.
Your microphone.
With still a lot of energy. So there should be this community build-up, like they're mentioning, but making sure that you can sustain, you can bring together those who are not yet eligible to play, but they are part of that community. So not only when you have friendly games, if we start organizing friendly games, we start letting them know that they are the next generation, right? We can start counting on them. And we don't only focus on NVT as the main goal, but having like other tournaments around. It could be friendly games, it could be mini tournaments that will get them involved. And by so doing, even when they miss those 4 days of NVT, they know that by the time they are ripe, they will be the guys at the forefront. And that is a little bit lacking. And that is why at some point when the NVT is coming, teams have to be rushing, buying players left and right. You already have a core. You already have a core, and to that core you can just add maybe 1, 2, 3 players, and continuation will be there. And you will at some point you will have a core like generational players, like we had the Cameroonian team of 2000 or the one in 88, for example, where you know that this core, if they go to NVT, they're bringing back the trophy. So I think this is what needs to be done more. the community leaders need to come together and involve even
Younger players.
yeah, more younger players.
I think our next question will be: some people argue that because teams don't get relegated, it's making the MVT not as good as it's supposed to be. Every year the same team. We have so many other teams who want to be part of the competition. Chances. I think, Boss Thierry, you're up there, so you probably can address this situation.
I'm sure that come from a team who's not part of it.
No.
Why you think so?
No, but
I mean,
it can be true.
I'm assuming that come from a team who would like to be there, but
Yeah,
it's not there. And
yeah.
it's been on the waiting list for a long time. So that's a tough situation, right? Because I mean, I understand we can have relegations, and I think at one point it was discussed relegation. The last two get relegated, and we pick 3 from the waiting list and so on. So, hey, yeah,
the aspect of relegation, I think, will bring a lot of discipline into the team.
Yeah,
because when teams, you think about the fraudulence or the,
like
when you kick them out,
and
bringing in those new teams, other team members, other teams will learn to be disciplined. Then you put out in school, they used to tell us demerits, right? You take demerits of punctuality, you take demerits of fraud. So all of that should go like an evaluation or mark sheet to give more. It will give more meaning to the competition and cover that gap for discipline and bring up.
I have maybe a different idea from the relegation, how the relegation should be dealt with. And I think one way is to really digitalize the NVT in a sense that there's a database where every team, they register their players and you can update that database. And then maybe prior to the NVT, maybe a few months, you organize like in Texas or say in Dallas area, you have maybe 5 or 6 teams. And all of them rightfully so want to be at the NVT. So you can organize what we call semi-leagues where each team plays each other within Dallas. And then the top team, so we always want the best to represent, it's like Champions League or whatnot.
Yeah.
We want the best teams, not because you are the oldest. We want the team. Sometimes you might say, okay, oldest based on, we give you that Chinda thing. But at the end of the day, we want the best. So you play like a semi-league. And teams within Dallas, for example, if there are 6, they play each other. And then you have like a table. Top team is qualified by default. You're already there. So if there are 3 teams, the top 3 teams go.
CK,
and the key thing is that there will be a database of players. It doesn't mean that a player can decide today I've played with Arlington, but then tomorrow I'm playing with Camden. Because if you don't have a database of players, at some point a team, because they see that by buying this player, their chances of qualification are high. They'll come and give you $500, $200, and then you go play with them just because you want them to get those points. No, you play with your team. And by so doing, no team will go there and complain and say, hey, you know what? I am not be relegated or whatnot. So there'll be a league. So they'll actually be playing prior to, and this will help teams to be informed going to Atlanta.
This has been discussed before. Have like regional tournaments,
right?
Best qualified.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And I really think that in the very near future, that's what's going to happen. Because you have 36 teams going, right, and you have so many teams on the back list waiting.
36 is even a lot. 32 should be max.
36 is a lot.
Yeah.
Either we figure out a way to have those other teams involved more, other than just the monetary aspect, because those things you have to pay,
right?
Or they're gonna lose interest.
Yeah.
Right. So, and you don't want
them just to be spectators.
Yeah. So I think maybe you can have those. I think those regional talks have been
because even if you go with relegation, what is the criteria for relegating? Poor performance, or what is the criteria of bringing the next 3?
Poor performance should be number 1.
Yeah, but
I mean the criteria for bringing 3.
So now I think they have a waiting list based on how people register, so they know these people have been on the waiting list for 4 years, and
that's the point. You're going by waiting list rather than So a team might be newly formed and they are solid. Now, obviously, you want to give bird rights to those who were there before, But again, I think a proper way would be to have those kind of a regional league where they play and then top teams they qualify. I mean, if they don't go for those 4 days, they have enough competition, so they feel like
they're part of the.
Don't make CK to
Carlos, you're not
No.
thinking about the relegation.
Yeah, I'm listening to the coach. I was listening to
Carlos will leave Dakar and come to.
No. I will never leave Camden, man. Camden is a blood. It's a life story.
Yeah.
Lifetime story. Sako know about the story. You know how many times I've returned veteran come to me to come and play with them? So many times. I've lived all my life in Arlington, but I play with Camden.
Okay. Carlos, the relegation.
About the relegation thing, Sako, you know, it's true what the court say, it's true what Siri say, but sometimes me, I'm very realistic. I will not say we cannot do it. Like 80% we can do it because we need a lot of people to be involved. Now the coach is talking something about like FIFA having FECAFOOT, having another federation somewhere where they're going to be controlling all this. It's going to be very complicated. Very complicated. About the relegation, we still need to think about it because Thierry talk also about lost interest. When you're in the waiting list for 10 years, for 6 years, it doesn't make sense. But at the same time, me that I've been playing every year, I don't also want to go home to leave somebody else play.
But that's greed.
No, it's not greed because when we start this thing also, think about people like we have only 5 clubs in the beginning. You can also greed. We have been there for the beginning. We have been working for this to become big. Well, and it cannot be big.
And then now it's big, and you guys are not even putting in the effort that other people want to put in. Like you don't want to invest anything. You just want to show up because you want to stay in there. Like
it's like England say we created football should be at the World Cup.
Yeah, it will not be fair.
You know, it will not be fair. You cannot use that as an argument.
No, Sako, you cannot say that we are not adding anything. We are not just going there to go there. Come down, make sure we go there and we have to play. Come down is one of the team who always get there to semi-final or final.
Carlos, we understand. But the thing is, once the idea of we cannot get relegated is there, people are not serious. That's just how we feel.
I'm coming. Now, the coach was talking about performance. For me, I will say this. When it comes to veteran, normally, we cannot look about performance. When you really look about what we call veteran, it's people who play, drink, have fun. Now, age, that's where I can say if any team brings somebody who's less than 35, that's the kind of relegation we need. Now you take that team away and send him home and bring another team. If we add more discipline to the tournament.
What if no teams brings 35
so
after that?
Yeah, we're just going to have same teams every year for the next 100 years.
Can I answer that?
Yes.
For the past 4 tournaments, I've been there, right? There's always age problem, right?
Yeah.
Let's fix the age problem first before ask to the next question. Meaning what? Even this year, I don't know, but I believe one team we have the age problem.
We relegate
them. Next year, when we finish with the age problem, we're going to think about something else. Because I've been there every time there's age problem. Last year, you know what happened to come down? We play against the team, we lose the game, they went to the next level, but they relegate them because they disqualify them because they have young players than 35. But Camden is already out, and we are already going home.
Yeah.
But in that case, you know,
agree.
That is why I talked about demerits, right? You bring like you put the clauses, right? Age, discipline, poor performance, discipline, I mean, all of those. Like when I looked at those 12 things, we talk of violence, all of that. Like you say, okay, if there are 36 teams, right? You give every team like 5 clauses. Each thing that you do drops 1. You have that person who is of below the age limit, it drops 1. Punctuality, it goes down. So by the end of the tournament, if you lose like 3, know that next year you're not coming for the tournament. Those are the things which should be brought up because it's going to help.
I feel like the NVT execs also they have a problem or they have work to do because when we were going for, I think it was Delaware, the last tournament.
Mhm.
They had good rules.
Maryland.
There was Maryland. There was going to be relegation. They put out their rules and all of that, and I think they respected those rules. The teams were kicked out because of fraud, right?
Yes,
But
Atlanta
then,
has put 12
and
this
then
year.
when it got to the relegation part, 2 months after the competition,
They
a
didn't do
list
it.
came in and they were like, "Oh, these people have signed petition that no, we should not relegate teams and blah blah blah." Which for me, I felt like it was about okay, this na my friend team, this more support them, more favor them.
And
Coach.
I think that's what will happen, because, and I think that the best way is true that. That's why I was thinking about the league, because if you come with any process that someone may view as they are being disfavored, for example, it's easy for them to go find support. Like, I know you, right? You come and see me, say, man, we cannot. We started this thing together. You cannot be going to MVT.
The problem is him.
No. For example, and then they will go ahead and write a petition, like you said.
Yeah.
And then he finds maybe 2-3 people who can write him petition. It becomes a problem because now the admin group is like, okay, how do we solve this problem? Because these are say Arlington writes a petition that you cannot just kick Kamdala out. Another team writes from, say, Boston. You cannot just kick Kamdala out. This becomes a headache for them.
Okay, coach.
Because you have 4 teams, and that's why obviously creating that structure of playing each other will demand some endeavors. But again, teams have been here. Teams play friendly games. Those friendly games could be league games to have like a table.
Coach,
you know?
Yes.
Have you hosted any tournament this year in this town?
No, when I mean we haven't there have not been any tournament hosted, but there have been a lot of friendly games.
No. Just let me finish. What I'm saying that to host only a tournament for 1 weekend, it demands a lot of energy.
I mean a game, not a tournament. You don't need a tournament. I said games. So for example, as part of the league for placing for NVT, Arlington is playing Kandal next Saturday. You don't need to bring Allen. You don't need to, you don't need to organize anything. You just need a referee or 3 referees, which NVT they could sponsor, right? For example, through the finances they could pay for one way or the other. You get referees, you get a field, you play. And that result,
but we need an organization.
No, they don't need to run it. The result is posted. That's why I said we have to digitalize NVT. So once you play, the result is posted and everybody.
An organization. We cannot do it based on those ones.
Local coordination.
No, you have
the presidents are there.
And right now we have TVT, and I think the last time we were here, Thierry even suggested the presidents coming together to be, and that's the reason I was asking, are you guys, besides just going to this competition, working together as Texas? Because at the end of the day, we don't want to continue to treat people like phony, like they're not making any efforts to be part of the group. That's just the problem. You understand? We want to do something to make them feel involved. Yeah, they have hope. They are in the waiting list. But then if we start organizing competitions like the coach is saying, it will give them more hope.
Yeah.
And if they play the competition and they don't qualify, the blame is on them. Not that we have a competition, a national competition, which is the biggest in our community right now. And then we have just a few names who are probably going to be there for the next 100 years. Guys, I feel like
Sako.
Sako,
I have one more. It's not a question. It's something that I think I have to say. It's like another thing we have to.
Guys, we
have to stop creating teams.
Why? Why should they?
Okay.
It's continuity.
Okay.
It's continuity.
Let me tell you why.
Yeah.
The more we create team, the more we become weak.
Yeah.
That's my own point of view.
That's true.
You look at Funny. You guys have 3 teams over there.
I mean, veteran.
No. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
In Arlington, we used to have Arlington. Now we have United will come in.
We used to have Arlington and Kafa. And then now we have Arlington United, Mansfield. Now there is Milotan. I think I'm planning to do my own. I don't know.
That will be 16. In Dallas, you can see Frisco FC, Ireland. But just in this town. When we have too many teams like this, how can we think that we're going to go and have a good tournament? Because if you have a few good players, they are not together. Everybody plays somewhere else.
And this is where
I think we need to stop creating first. We need to learn how to be united. We need to learn how to come together as one and build the community first before look after football. Because in this community, we put football in front. We don't even do a lot of community activity.
I don't even think
Yeah.
it's football. We put our personal interest in front.
front.
So I want to
Exactly.
be the head of
Head of
United.
this.
I
I
want
want
to
to
be
be the president of
Can
this.
we,
I want to
can
be
we,
the
I want
coach.
us to move forward, please, because time, I see President
I'm listening.
Oh, yeah.
I'm listening. I'm taking it.
Cameroon is playing against Burundi in a few weeks, and there's a list out already. What is your impression? Let's start with President.
Oh, yeah, that's in the home person because I haven't looked at it. I'll
So
be honest, I haven't looked at it.
you don't even follow the national team?
Nah, I follow, but I haven't looked at it. I don't know the list. I haven't seen it.
Okay,
To-
let's
to
talk
be
to
honest, like-
Koshi.
Well, again, Cameroon has played Burundi twice, just 2 times. Won
Mhm.
both times. I think the most recent one was was last year, 2022. Yeah,
Mhm.
last year. We won the 1-0. So it should be a winnable game. But given the recent performances of the Lion, there is a cause for concern. And this is my personal appreciation of it, right?
Mhm.
It has more to do with the quality of players that we have
Mhm.
and then the coaching style.
Mhm.
So if you see the strength of Cameroon when we had those great teams, we had our fullbacks who always, if you remember, of the Womes or the Olembes or the
G-Tap.
G-Taps on the
Etame
sides,
Marin.
who always came and created, made the attack to be crowded. Now, our best fullback since those days has been Fai Collins, and he's not even called in the list.
Doesn't have a team.
He doesn't have a team,
Well,
coach.
Again, it's not called.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
but
Right?
it doesn't have a team.
It's not called. And so
Mhm.
when you look at it now, you see that for Burundi, if they go with the game style of Namibia, don't worry about the fullbacks. Plumb the middle. People like Frank, this girl plays for Napoli.
Anguissa.
Anguissa. It becomes difficult for them to operate in the middle because we have fullbacks who don't help the attack. And so when you want to go through the middle, you have traffic and it becomes difficult. And if they hit on counter attack, chances are that we get a goal. So my appraisal is we should win this game. But because we don't have, we cannot stretch the field like we used to do with our great teams. It becomes, and we have in the midfield, we have called mostly defensive midfielders. We don't have creators. We don't have the Etame Mayers. But Etame Maya was good because you had somebody like Fui who could, do the dirty work for him, give him the ball so that he plays. If you look in our national team, you have Anguissa. The only guy is how do you call him?
Kunde too is good. Malone.
Kunde is a defense. Most of them are all defensive midfielders.
Generally, I feel like we don't have the quality of players we used to have.
They are all defensive midfielders. We don't have a number 8 because number 10s don't exist in football anymore. But we don't have a good number 8. And the only person who can play there is Anguissa. But again, because Anguissa sometimes doesn't receive balls, you see him right in our 18 trying to get the balls. You can do that. So if we had great fullbacks who could cross or send the ball to then you could be thinking of a 3-0 win. But if we win 1-0 for me, I'll be
happy.
I'll be happy.
Carlos,
it'll be very
la liste de 23, what is your opinion?
C'est déjà une bonne liste, Sako. Et je pense que je suis confident que nous allons gagner. Parce que quand on arrive à ce niveau de la compétition, c'est vrai, le coach a parlé des grands joueurs, des grands clubs, mais si vous connaissez ce qu'on appelle le Hemley, c'est le moment où nous allons jouer le Hemley.
And that's why
when you are playing soccer in Cameroon, and when you get to the level where we say it's Hemley.
What's Hemley? What is it?
Hemley is like,
ça doit passer.
Ça doit passer.
Well,
there's nothing going to stop us. It's time for us to play the Hemley.
The president says different. Eto missing penalty, Womelen missing penalty for qualification.
But we don't get, before we get to that missing point, they play that Hemley. I think that's the time, it is the moment, and on the 12th, trust me, Sako, you guys going to see a different team, a different Cameroon team. I'm happy. They call on our back. Our goalkeeper from Manchester United is coming back. You can show that even Rigobert's son, you know that this is ça casse.
He's just succumbing to pressure.
No, why?
He's succumbing to
why?
pressure.
They have called players from national team.
Another thing you guys have to know.
No, he's
Cote
succumbing to
d'Ivoire,
pressure.
Cameroon.
It's patriotism. He loves his country. That's why he's coming back.
Let me tell you,
Carlos,
if you ask any Cote d'Ivoire person,
the one to see Cameroon,
what is the team that you want to be there? They will say it's Cameroon.
Yeah.
The fact that
Everybody
Cameroon
will
have to
say
be
that.
there for that Nation Cup, trust me, it's not going to be just one, at least two.
Okay, guys,
Yeah.
let's round up. Mr. Thierry, if Arlington is not lifting the trophy, who do you think will lift the trophy?
Any team from the area, whether it's Camden or Allen, yeah, that would be, of course, the obvious.
It's easy for us to say that, but then we're not even working as a group to get things to where we're supposed to be.
Sako, you came with that agenda or something. Yeah, no. In all seriousness, not yes. I mean, we should do more. And actually, last time you were here, and I talked to the Camden president, I was supposed to create some type of chat form for the president in the area. Well, life happened. I take the blame on me, but definitely we need to do more. We need to do more.
Carlos, I want you to be honest. If Camden is not winning, who do you think is going to lift the trophy?
To be honest, right? The Atlanta team, the Guinea, is the team to watch.
Okay.
Because I personally know 5 players that we are playing in Asia together. That's number 1. Number 3, I love the organization of Guinea.
Yeah.
There's something I want you to pay attention.
The discipline.
I saw them in Houston before the game. They was together. They have at least 40 players each game. It means that as coach, it's very easy. Because it's true Guinea have been winning, but let's also look the good side.
Yeah.
When we talk also about age fraud, we never say any of them have age fraud. It means that they are disciplined. When you're talking about time, Guinea never started a game with 8 players. I'm telling you, I've been playing then. And in 2000, I think it was 3 years ago in Delaware, we was at the final, Guinea against Camden. Guess what? Camden have 12 players at the final.
Yeah.
Guinea have like 20 players. There was changing players all over the every minute. But Camden have only 12 players because sometimes the fact that each player is going to get his ticket and the management don't follow, you don't even know when the player is going back. Because we don't talking about time. Discipline is a lot of things.
Right.
It's when the player are leaving, when are they arriving, who's picking them up, who's taking them to the game, all this come together. That day, President, when we get to the final, we have 6 players that they're supposed to go back to Dallas at 6 p.m.
So they were not
they didn't believe they can go to the final. And now I didn't blame them. I blame the management. I talked to Cheso, I talked to the management, I said, hey, you guys did not even check these people flight ticket to know that they're going. Now we are in the final and we are 12. You see, the one thing that I think that one thing that I think that Guinea have been doing good is discipline, and we should learn from them.
Yeah,
and number 2, Sako, we are playing in the home ground. That is not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. I see Guinea as favorite again for this year, but I want to go and win. But to be honest, if we can put the same discipline that they do, I think we can get there before them.
No, you cannot feed your fowl on the day of the market.
Oh, yeah.
And just so you know, that's our second game. Arlington's second game is against Gwinnett.
Wow.
Yeah. So
that's a good deal.
But you're ready. I mean, you're ready. Like I said.
That's what time?
I think that's 3 p.m.
3 p.m.
Yeah. Like I think I follow what Capi said. Gwinnett, obviously, they're incumbents. It's not easy to beat the incumbent, irrespective of how you prepare, because they have been there. They know what winning means. What you need to do to win. They know it. And so when you're coming to play against someone who knows how to win, it's always a very difficult task. So I will have them at the top of my list. Obviously, then I'll have Arlington. Obviously, that is
you place us big.
Just to respect
some of your players.
Not just to respect them. Doesn't mean that you cannot
to respect the trophy. Now that's why I talk of competition, right? So I will put them as the team to beat. Obviously, the team to beat. But again, then Boston with the former professionals, which I think they will not have a first good game because they will be like, okay, we are playing with some guys who are in the US there, maybe working in warehouses thinking that they can. But when they get, tackled 1 or 2, 3 times, they will wake up and then they will play better for the. So watch out for Boston as well.
You see what he just did is very tricky. It's preferable for you to go play Gwinnett and give them the impression that you're not you know you can lose, rather than you going there and
when they are slack, then you hit.
Yeah. So I think what he said was just kind of. However, the question was going to be different for you, Koshi. So if you're not winning the trophy, what is the other thing you feel like our community should pay attention to grab from the tournament? So for those who are not going to win, what do you think they should at least focus so they make sure they're coming back with something that looks like a trophy for them?
First thing, they should try to emulate organizations that are better organized. What led another team to win other than them? Was it because they had skills, or is it because they were better organized? So this is one thing that they should be able to, take away from it. And the second thing is, how do you want to apply that going back? Because one thing is, like you mentioned, people will be returning separately. And when people get in, it will be like, okay, we wait for NVT next year. And then when NVT starts again, we come back. So once you have said, okay, Gwinnett, they won because first, they were talented. 2, they were a lot in numbers. And 3, they were better organized.
Yeah.
So when you come back, you say, okay, what can I do? At least if I cannot even be better in terms of the skills, can I at least achieve the organizational level as Gwinnett? I think that would take us a step closer to victory.
For you, for those who are not going there to play, what do you think, or give us a good reason why we should go to Atlanta?
Yeah, let me before I go that, let me piggyback on what Koji just said. Koji, it's a very good thing for every team which is going to do a retrospective of what what went well, what didn't go well, or what they need to improve on. And they should start doing it immediately after that tournament. They should not wait towards like 2, 3, 4, 5 months before that. For those going not to play, they should join the fan club of each of their various cities. I remember when I was as a college, they used to call me Ngando because I used to be the fan club. I used to be the Ngando of Sase College football team. I also want to encourage those not going who are not playing to build that networking. To me, networking is the way to go. It is the way to go.
Network.
Yes, networking not only of friends but business as well. Meet people, get that interaction. The problem we have in our community is information management. Build that network. You don't know what you might need now, you might need tomorrow, but getting that collaboration and identifying oneself with where we come from, where we belong, and where we want to be will help us get to that point. So going there, celebrate, jubilate, drink responsibly, eat well, eat well, and to me, it's just networking. It's just networking.
Any questions?
No, it's not a question. It's just something that I want to say about the NVT, about the San Antonio team. That's one of the teams that we also talk about discipline. You see, in San Antonio, most of the players, the wife, they also have like a group of people coming, a group of women coming to the court every year.
Yeah.
I think that's something also that we like Camden, Arlington Veteran, Boston, other teams should like learn from them, and we can see our wife, girlfriend, sister, our family going there, and it will be great. Though we just have to learn from people who are doing good. Though sometimes it's not just about they're playing good, but what are they doing also that is good? If you look at the video, you look at the comment, make sure you look at San Antonio. Are you going to see?
Oh yes, San Antonio is a very good
team. Just to throw a little bit of light on what Carlos said, he said our wife, girlfriend. He's not saying that he has a wife and a girlfriend. He's saying that people who are not married,
every wife.
Yeah, people
that have girlfriend, they have girlfriend. I also talk about sister. I did not say our wife, our girlfriend. Thank you, Sako. Thank you so much for that.
Trust me, someone will cut that.
That's
and they say, oh,
and they start posting this. I said, this guy, your wife and girlfriend. Thank you, Sako.
Any topic anyone wanted to address before we close?
Yeah, I have one question for for Coachy. Coach, how do you handle the discipline of your team members? Is it just calling them on the field? I mean, I want to hear from your professional background with what you have explained to us.
So I wouldn't say that there is the kind of discipline in Arlington veterans that you would want to have. We have not reached that level yet. But if I look at when I coached in Germany or maybe the clubs that I coach here, I handle discipline in a club is based on, so it's behavioral. It's not just having the strongest tone or speaking the loudest or whatnot. So discipline is through the exercises. So if, for example, you want the players to perform or do a certain activity, and you rate based on that activity. So time is one key thing. So if you say training starts at 8, like today I have training, for example. If training is started at 7 p.m., it starts with me, I'm expected to be there at least 15 minutes before training. Usually in Germany, or it should be at least 30 minutes because you have to set the ground and everything. But you expect your players to be there on time so that you can manage that training time. So with the veterans, I cannot boast of us having the kind of discipline. But there has been some, like the president mentioned, that we have been seeing some more numbers, participation, people willing now to come more. And it's still a working process. I think if we have that aspect of building community involving more people, not creating teams left and right, like you mentioned, and then having everybody work as a group, I think people will copy the positives, and we will, discipline will be achieved, because at this level, we are all adults. You cannot force someone to come to training. You cannot force someone to run. You cannot force someone to, to do exercises. So it is something that we'll all do together via respect. It's not the same as if maybe you were doing it with a professional team.
Okay.
Prezi Thierry, final words to your people.
My people being Arlington, my people being your audience.
Arlington starts from Arlington and in Texas.
Start from home. Home is home.
Home is home.
So I know it's been since last year. It's been like you have tumultuous moment in terms of practices and so on. But I hope that what will not happen this year again is having that parabol effect, and I think that applies to a lot of other teams where we start slow, and then when we go to MVT, we accelerate, and then after MVT, kind of everything goes back down, right? So I just hope that this time forward we will not have it, and we continue the same momentum and same pace. I know the winter is kind of different, but at least we can have some similarity of what we're having right now in terms of engagement and efficiency. But I'm looking forward to have everybody there. Good luck to Cam, Dal, and Allen, our brothers there. And if not, like I mentioned earlier, if not us, I'll definitely vote for Cam, Dal, and Allen. And you can see that if you have been to NVT like a final, when Cam Dal play Gwinnett, we all from Texas where they converge to support our brothers. So you have that family spirit in ourselves. So good luck to all of our teams.
Carlos, tu veux dire quelque chose?
Sako, my message is not going to be to the community. My message going to be on for this great man, one of the best founding father in Camdal, Cheso, ex-president, who's a chairman, is everything of Camdal. He have not been feeling well for the past few weeks, and he left the hospital, I think 2 days ago. He's now home. Cheso, I wish you good recovery. I know that only the fact that I know you can be happy if Camdal going to bring back this cup. I'm going to try all my best with my teammate to make this happen for you. And that's one of the reasons I will never leave Camdal, because Cheso has been there in my life since 2006. And when Arlington come to the game, I cannot just abandon everything they have done for me, especially him, Cheso. I love you so much, and Hope to see you in Atlanta. Even if I don't see you, your spirit will be there. Thank you so much, guys.
So Carlos is very loyal guy. So thanks Carlos. And speed of coverage, so I was gonna work on that today.
Okay.
So yeah.
The captain has given his pledge.
Ma tu te sors, on will give you last word.
No, I don't want last word. I don't flop.
I think it was a beautiful session.
Thank you, Tony.